Ako si Ginang Heidi Fabria Salcedo.
Ako po si Ginang Richan B. Artajo.
Ako si Maria May N. Melo.
At ako naman si Ginang Sherilyn A. Valdez.
Mga guro sa edukasyon sa pagpapakatao
10. Bago tayo magsimula, ay manalangin muna tayo. Sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, at ng Diyos Espiritu Santo. Amen. Pakihanda ang mga sumusunod na kagamitan. Ang inyong self-learning modules, sagutang papel, at ang inyong panulat. Ibaling ang buong atensyon sa pagkikinig. Handa ka na ba? Tara na at ating simulan. Magandang buhay, mabuting tao. Ako po muli si Ginang Richan B. Artajo, ang magtatalakay sa inyo sa unang module sa ikalawang markahan. Handa ka na ba? Tara na at ating simulan. Para sa unang module sa ikalawang markahan, ang ating tatalakayin ay tungkol sa ang makataong kilos. Mga layunin. Ang mga sumusunod na pagkatuto at kasanayan ay inaasahang malinang sa iyo sa pag-aaral mo sa module na ito. Unang layunin, nakikilala na may pagkukusa sa makataong kilos kung nagmumula ito sa malayang pagsasagawa ng kilos loob sa pamamatnubay ng isip. Pangalawa, nakapagsusuri ng mga kilos na may pananagutan at napapatunayan na ang makataong kilos ay sinadya o deliberate at niloob ng tao gamit ang isip. Kaya pananagutan niya ang kahihinatnan nito, kabutihan man o kasamaan. Balikan muna natin ang ating aralin sa nakaraang modyul. Natutuhan mo sa nakaraang modyul ang pagiging bukod-tangi mo dahil sa iyong taglay na dignidad bilang tao, na nakabatay ang dignidad mo sa iyong pagkabukod-tangi at sa pagkakawangis mo sa Diyos na may isip at kalooban. Ginagamit ng tao ang isip at kilos-loob upang siya ay magpakatao. Ano naman kaya ang koneksyon ng isip at kilos-loob sa makataong kilos? Sa araw-araw mong kilos, ginagamit mo ba ang iyong isip? Ano ang iyong ginawa upang masabi mo na ginamit mo ang iyong isip at kilos-loob? May alam ka na ba sa mga kilos na masasabi mong ginamitan ng isip? Ano ang tawag natin sa mga kilos na iyon? Sa module na ito, matutuklasan mong may pagkukusa sa makataong kilos kung nagmumula ito sa malayang pagsasagawa ng kilos-loob sa pamamatnubay ng isip, na ang makataong kilos ay sinadya at niloob ng tao gamit ang kaniyang isip. Kaya, pananagutan niya ang kahihinatnan ng kaniyang kilos, kabutihan man o kasamaan. Palagi nating tandaan na may dalawang uri ng kilos ang tao. Ang kilos ng tao o act of man at ang makataong kilos o human act. Ang kilos ng tao o act of man. Ito ay tumutukoy sa mga kilos na nagaganap sa tao. Ito ay likas sa tao at hindi na ito ginagamitan ng isip at kilos-loob. Tandaan, ito ay hindi na ginagamitan ng isip at kilos-loob. Kaya ito ay walang aspekto ng pagiging mabuti o masama. Halimbawa sa mga ito ay ang mga biolohikal at pisyolohikal na kilos na nagaganap sa tao tulad na lamang ng pagtibok ng puso, pagkurap ng mata, paghinga, paghikab, at iba pa. Pangalawa, ang makataong kilos o human act. Ito ay kilos na isinasagawa ng tao nang may kaalaman, malaya at kusa. Ang kilos na ito ay resulta ng kaalaman, ginagamitan ng isip at kilos-loob, kaya't may kapanagutan ang tao sa pagsasagawa nito. Ang makataong kilos ay kilos na malayang pinili mula sa paghuhusga at pagsusuri ng konsensya. Ito ay sinadya at niloob ng tao gamit ang isip. Kaya pananagutan ng taong nagsagawa ng makataong kilos ang bunga ng kanyang piniling kilos o ang kahihinatnan nito, kabutihan o kasamaan. Kung mabuti ang kilos, ito ay katanggap-tanggap. At kung masama ang kilos, ito ay kahiya-hiya at dapat pagsisihan. Dapat din nating tandaan na may tatlong uri ng kilos ayon sa kapanagutan ni Aristoteles. Ang tatlong uri ng kilos ayon sa kapanagutan ay kusang loob, di kusang loob, at walang kusang loob. Ang kusang loob, ito ay kilos na may kaalaman sa pagsang-ayon. May pagkukusa sa makataong kilos kung nagmula ito sa malayang pagsasagawa ng kilos-loob sa pamamatnubay ng isip. Halimbawa, ang isang guro na ginagampanan ang kaniyang tungkulin bilang guro ng buong tapat. Nagbubuo ng banghay-aralin bilang preparasyon sa kaniyang pang-araw-araw na pagtuturo. Gumagamit ng iba't ibang stratehiya upang maging kawili-wili ang kaniyang pagtuturo. Pangalawa, di kusang loob. Dito may paggamit ng kaalaman, ngunit kulang ang pagsang-ayon. Makikita ito sa kilos na hindi isinagawa, bagaman may kaalaman sa gawain na dapat isakatuparan. Halimbawa si Art, isang empleyado sa munisipyo na naglingkod bilang COMELEC member para sa pambansang eleksyon. Pinulungan siya ng kanyang chairman na tulungan ang isang kandidato sa pamamagitan ng dagdag bawas. Alam niyang ito ay illegal at labag sa kanilang moral na tungkulin kaya hindi siya pumayag. Ngunit dahil natatakot siya na baka matanggal siya bilang miyembro kahit labag sa kanyang kalooban, ay ginawa pa rin niya ang pabor na hinihingi. Pangatlo, walang kusang loob. Dito, ang tao ay walang kaalaman kaya't walang pagsang-ayon sa kilos. Ang kilos na ito ay hindi pananagutan ng tao dahil hindi niya alam kaya't walang pagkukusa. Halimbawa, may kakaibang ekspresyon si Dan sa kaniyang mukha. Madalas ang pagkindat ng kaniyang mata. Minsan sa kaniyang pamamasyal ay may lumapit na dalaga at nagalit sa kaniyang pangingindat. Nagulat siya dahil nabastos niya nang hindi sinasadya ang dalaga. Hindi humingi ng paumanhin si Dan dahil iyon ay isang mannerismo. Ang pananagutan ay nararapat na may kaalaman at kalayaan sa piniling kilos upang masabing ang kilos ay pagkukusang kilos o voluntary act. Ang bigat ng pananagutan sa kinakaharap na sitwasyon ng isang makataong kilos ay nakabatay sa bigat ng kagustuhan o pagkukusa. Kung mas mataas ang degree ng pagkukusa, mas mabigat ang pananagutan. Kung mas mababa ang degree ng pagkukusa, mas mababaw ang pananagutan. Ngayong alam mo na ang tungkol sa ang makataong kilos, ang dalawang uri ng kilos, ang kilos ng tao act of man, at ang makataong kilos human act, at ang tatlong uri ng kilos ayon sa pananagutan ni Aristoteles, ay ating subukin ang iyong pag-unawa. Kunin ang iyong sagutang papel, panulat, at ihanda ang iyong sarili para sa ating huling pagtataya. Handa ka na ba? Panuto, basahing mabuti ang bawat pahayag at unawain ang tanong. Piliin ang pinakaangkop na sagot at isulat ang titik ng iyong napiling sagot sa iyong sagutang papel. Magbibigay lamang ako ng 10 segundo sa pagsagot mo sa bawat katanungan. Unang tanong, paano makikilala na may pagkukusa sa makataong kilos? A. Makikilala na may pagkukusa sa makataong kilos kung makikita sa kilos na hindi isinagawa bagaman may kaalaman sa gawain na dapat isakatuparan. B. Makikilala na may pagkukusa sa makataong kilos kung nagmumula ito sa malayang pagsasagawa ng kilos loob sa pamamatnubay ng isip. C. Makikilala na may pagkukusa sa makataong kilos kung ang tao ay walang kaalaman kaya't walang pagsang-ayon sa kilos. At D. Lahat ng nabanggit sa itaas. Ang tamang sagot ay letter D. lahat ng nabanggit sa itaas. Pangalawang tanong, kung kikilalanin ang katuruan ni Aristoteles, aling kilos ang ipinakita ng isang mag-aaral na biglang humikab ng malakas sa klase habang seryosong nagtuturo ang guro? A. Kusang loob. B. Walang kusang loob. C. Di kusang loob. At D. Kilos loob. Ang tamang sagot ay C. Di kusang loob. Pangatlo, ang kilos ng tao ay masasabing walang aspekto ng pagiging mabuti o masama, kaya walang pananagutan ng tao kung naisagawa ito. Ang pahayag na ito ay A. Mali dahil ang kilos ng tao ay ginagamitan ng isip at kilos loob. B. Mali dahil lahat ng kilos ng tao ay dapat may kapanagutan. C. Tama dahil ang kilos ng tao ay hindi ginagamitan ng isip at kilos loob. At D. Tama dahil ang kilos ng tao ay walang aspekto ng pagiging masama. Ang tamang sagot ay A. Mali, dahil ang kilos ng tao ay ginamitan ng isip at kilos loob. Pang-apat na tanong, bakit may pananagutan ang tao sa kahihinatnan ng makataong kilos, kabutihan o kasamaan? A. Dahil ang makataong kilos ay sinadya at niloob ng tao gamit ang isip. B. Dahil ang makataong kilos ay isinagawa ng tao ng may kaalaman, malaya at kusa. C. Dahil ang makataong kilos ay malayang pinili mula sa paghuhusga at pagsusuri ng konsensya. At letter D, lahat ng nabanggit sa itaas. Ang tamang sagot ay letter D, lahat ng nabanggit sa itaas. Panglimang tanong, nasampal ni Martha si Noel dahil sa palagiang pagkindat ni Noel sa kanya. Sa imbestigasyon na isinagawa ng guidance counselor, napag-alaman na manerismo ni Noel ang palagiang pagkindat ng kanyang mga mata. May kapanagutan ba si Noel sa kanyang kilos? A. Oo, dahil ang kanyang kilos ay kusang loob, may kaalaman at pagsang-ayon. B. Oo, dahil ang kanyang kilos ay may paggamit ng kaalaman, ngunit kulang lang sa pagsang-ayon. Letter C. Wala, dahil ang kanyang kilos ay walang pagkukusa, walang pagsang-ayon na gawin iyon dahil sa kanyang manerismo. At letter D. Wala dahil ang kanyang kilos ay isang manerismo at wala naman siyang gusto kay Martha. Ang tamang sagot ay letter C. Wala dahil ang kanyang kilos ay walang pagkukusa, walang pagsang-ayon na gawin iyon dahil iyon ay kanyang manirismo. Para sa mga sumusunod na katanungan, panuto, basahin at unawaing mabuti ang mga pahayag. Sagutin ng tama kung ang ipinapahayag ay tama at sagutin ng mali kung ang ipinapahayag ay mali. Ika-6 na tanong, ang makataong kilos ay sinadya gamit ang isip, kaya pananagutan niya ang kahihinatnan ng kilos, kabutihan man o kasamaan. Ang tamang sagot ay tama. Ika-7 tanong, Ang kilos ng tao ay ginagamitan ng isip at kilos loob. Ang tamang sagot ay tama. Pangwalong tanong. Ang kilos ng tao ay walang aspekto ng pagiging mabuti o masama. Ang sagot ay tama. Ikasiyam na tanong. Ang makataong kilos ay ginamitan ng isip at kilos loob, kaya't may kapanagutan ang tao sa pagsasagawa nito. Ang sagot ay tama. Ikasampung tanong. Kung mataas ang degree ng pagkukusa, mas mababa ang pananagutan. Ang tamang sagot ay mali. 11 tanong. Pananagutan ng taong nagsagawa ng makataong kilos ang bunga ng kanyang piniling kilos. Ang tamang sagot ay tama. Ang bigat ng pananagutan sa kinakaharap na sitwasyon ng isang makataong kilos ay nakabatay sa bigat ng kagustuhan o pagkukusa. Ang sagot ay tama. Kapag ang kilos ay kusang loob, ibig sabihin ang kilos na ito ay walang kaalaman ngunit may pagsang-ayon. Ang sagot ay mali. 14 na tanong. Ang kilos na di kusang loob ay may paggamit ng kaalaman at pagsang-ayon. Ang sagot ay mali. Panghuling tanong. Ang kilos na walang kusang loob ay kilos na walang kaalaman at walang pagsang-ayon sa kilos. Ang sagot ay tama. Binabati kita dahil sa iyong husay at galing. Para sa inyong takdang aralin, ay sagutin ang gawain 3 at 4 sa inyong sagutang papel sa Module 1 at gawain 5 para sa inyong performance task. At kung meron kayong mga bagay na hindi naiintindihan at mga katanungan, ay huwag mahiyang magtanong sa inyong guro sa ESP. At dyan po nagtatapos ang ating aralin sa unang module sa ikalawang markahan tungkol sa ang makataong kilos. Hanggang sa muli, ito si Ginang Richard B. Artajo, inyong guro. Maraming salamat po.
mga mag-aaral? Panibagong araw na naman sa pagkatuto ang ating haharapin. Ako nga pala, si Ginang Maria Lourdes Pisiquilio, ang inyong guro sa edukasyon sa pagpapakatao 10 sa araw na ito.
Bago natin simulan ang ating talakayan ngayon, alamin muna natin kung gaano karami ang iyong mga nalalaman sa pamamagitan ng pagsagot ng ating paunang pagtataya. Handa ka na ba? Tara at simulan na!
Basahing mabuti ang bawat pahayag at unawain ang tanong. Piliin ang pinakaangkop na sagot at isulat ang titik ng iyong napiling sagot sa iyong kwaderno sa asignaturang edukasyon sa pagpapakatao 10. Unang tanong, alin sa mga sumusunod ang kilos dahil sa takot? A. Ang pagliban sa klase at naglaro ng computer games. B. Ang pagsisinungaling sa bagsak na marka sa paaralan. C. Ang pagbigay ng lahat ng koleksyon mo bilang treasurer ng klase sa isang hold-upper. D. Ang pagsagawa ng self-quarantine laban sa COVID-19. Ang tamang sagot ay C. Ang pagbigay ng lahat ng koleksyon mo bilang treasurer ng klase sa isang hold-upper. Ikalawang tanong, alin sa sumusunod ang tunay na dahilan kung bakit hindi mapanugutan ang kilos dahil sa karahasan? A. Kung nagkaroon ng tao ng sapat na paraan upang labanan ang karahasan. B. Kung napilitan lang ang tao na gawin ang isang bagay na labag sa kanyang kilos loob at pagkukusa. C. Ang A at ang B. D. Wala sa nabanggit. Ang tamang sagot ay nakasulat sa letter A at letter B. Kaya, ang magiging sagot natin ay letter C, ang A at B. Ang ikatlong tanong, alin sa mga sumusunod ang gawain na paulit-ulit na isinasagawa at naging bahagi na ng sistema ng buhay sa araw-araw? A. Takot. B. Gawi. C. Karahasan. D. Masidhing damdamin. Kung paulit-ulit natin gagawin ito, ang tamang sagot ay letter B. Gawi. Kaapat na tanong, alin sa mga sumusunod ang bawasang pananagutan dahil sa damdamin? A. Pagbibigay ng regalo sa napupusuan. B. Pagsugod sa nakaalitan ng iyong nakakabatang kapatid. C. Pagsuntok sa barkada dahil sa biglaang panluloko. D. Panlilibre sa mga kaibigan dahil pagiging honor student. At ang tamang sagot sa ikaapat na katanungan ay letter C, pagsuntok sa barkada dahil sa biglaang panluloko. Limang tanong, alin sa sumusunod ang walang pananagutan dahil sa kamangmangan? A. Pagtawid sa kalsada kung saan ipinagbabawal ang pagtawid ng isang taong baguhan pa lamang nakarating sa syudad. B. Pagbasag sa salamin ng sasakyan ng isang taong wala sa matinong isip. C. Pagkakaroon ng bagsak sa mga asignatura dahil sa pagiging working student. D. Pananahimik sa isang krimen na iyong nasaksihan. Ang tamang sagot ay D. Ipagbasag sa salamin ng sasakyan ng isang taong wala sa matinong pag-iisip. Kamusta ang iyong score? Kung hindi nakaabot sa kalahati, huwag kang mabahala dahil ang mahalaga ay sinagot mo ng tapat ang gawain. Darating ang panahon na ikaw ay matuto at lalago ang iyong kaalaman. Kung ang iyong tamang sagot ay mas mataas pa kaysa kalahati, magaling! Ikaw ay nasa level na ng pagkabihasa. Ipagpatuloy ang pagtuklas ng mga kaalaman at kasanayan sa aralin sa pamamagitan ng pagsunod at pagsasagawa ng mga layunin. Layunin. Natutukoy ang mga salik na nakaapekto sa pananagutan ng tao sa kahinatnan ng kanyang kilos at pasya. Nakapagsusuri ng sariling kilos na dapat panagutan at nakakagawa ng paraan upang maging mapanagutan sa pagkilos. Ating balikan ang mga natalakay ninyo sa Module 1 tungkol sa makataong kilos. Hango sa iyong natutunan sa nakaraang module, anumang uri ng tao ang isang individual ngayon at kung magiging anong uri siya ng tao sa mga sumusunod na araw ay nakasalalay sa uri ng kilos na kanyang ginagawa ngayon at gagawin pa sa mga nalalabing araw ng kanyang buhay. Natutunan mo rin na may dalawang uri ng kilos ng tao. Ang kilos ng tao or acts of man or ang makataong kilos or human act. At ay nabigyan ng importansya ang pananagutan ng tao sa kahinatnan ng kanyang pagkataong kilos. Nabigyan din ng linaw ang tatlong uri ng kapanagutan. Iwanag din na ang makataong kilos ay tumutukoy sa mga kilos ng gumagamit ng pagkukusa, kalayaan at kaalaman ng isang tao. Dahil dito ang tao ay nagiging responsable para sa mga kilos na ito, maging maganda man o masama ang resulta ng iyong kilos. Ang mga makataong kilos ay ang mga kilos na kusang ginawa ng tao. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng salik? Ang salik ay anumang bagay, pangyayari o sitwasyon na maaring magkaroon ng impluwensya sa maaring kahinatnan ng anumang paksa. Ang mga salik sa iba't ibang anyo nito ay nagagawang baguhin ang direksyon ng maraming bagay. Ang makataong kilos ay maaaring mabawasan o kaya ay mauwi sa pagiging ordinaryong kilos ng tao dahil sa salik na nakaapekto rito. Mga salik ay direktang nakaapekto o nakapagbabago ng kalikasan ng isang makataong kilos, lalo na sa papel ng isip at kilos loob. Maaari ding mabawasan ang pananagutan ng makataong kilos dahil sa impluwensya ng mga salik na ito. Mga salik na nakaapekto sa pananagutan ng tao sa kahihinatnan ng kilos at pasya. Ang unang salik ay tinatawag na kamangmangan. Ito ay tumutukoy sa kawalan o kasalatan ng kaalaman na dapat taglay ng isang tao. Ito ay may dalawang uri, nadaraig or vincible at hindi nadaraig. Ang kamangmangan na nadaraig ay kawalan ng kaalaman sa isang gawain, subalit may pagkakataon siyang itama kung magkaroon ng tamang kaalaman kung gagawa lamang ng paraan upang malaman at matuklasan ito. Ang kamangmangang hindi nadaraig or invincible. Ito ang isang kamangmangan na talagang kawalan ng kaalaman, na mayroon siyang hindi alam na dapat pala niyang malaman. Ito ay tinatawag na kamangmangan na hindi nadaraig or invincible. Ang masiding damdamin ay isang passion, isang normal na damdamin. Subalit, ang tao ay may pananagutan upang pangasiwaan ang kanyang emosyon at damdamin, dahil kung hindi, ang emosyon at damdamin ng tao ang siyang mangangasiwa sa kanya. So, kailangan nating pangasiwaan ng maayos ang ating mga damdamin. Ang sunod naman ay tinatawag na takot. Ito ay isang salik at ito ay isang halimbawa ng masidhing silakbong damdamin. Tumutukoy din ito sa pagpataw ng pwersa gaya ng pananakit at pagpapahirap upang gawin ng isang tao ang kilos na labag sa kaniyang kalooban. Kung minsan sa ating buhay, dahil sa takot, kaya nagawa natin ang isang bagay. At sa ganitong sitwasyon, hindi nawawala ang pananagutan ng tao sa kanyang kilos. Ito ay nababawasan lamang. So pananagutan pa rin ito ng tao o ng isang taong nagsagaw nito, ngunit nabawasan lang. Ang sunod ay tinatawag na karahasan. Ito ay ang pagkakaroon ng panlabas na pwersa upang pilitin ng isang tao na gawin ang isang bagay na labag sa kanyang kilos loob at sa kanyang pagpupusa. Ang sunod naman na salik ay gawi. Ang gawain paulit-ulit na isinasagawa at naging bahagi na ng sistema ng buhay sa araw-araw ay tinatawag natin na gawi or habits. So ito ay ginagawa mo ng paulit-ulit. At dahil paulit-ulit mo itong ginawa, nagiging habit mo ito. Pagkatandaan natin na ang mga salik na nakakaapekto sa pananagutan ng tao sa kahinatnan ng kanilang pasya at kilos ay ang mga sumusunod: kamangmangan, masidhing damdamin, karahasan, takot, at ang gawi. Lapit mo nang matapos ang mga mahalagang gawain sa module na ito para sa pagunlad ng iyong kaalaman at kasanayan. Matapat na sagutin ang nakalaang gawain. So ito ang ngayon ang mga panuto sa iyong gagawin. Una, basahing mabuti sa unang kolom ang sitwasyong nagpapakita na naapektuhan ng mga salik ang pananagutan ng tao at may sitwasyon din na nagpapakita na walang kapanagutan ang kilos. Ikalawa, isulat sa ikalawang kolom ang pananagutan ng kilos. Ito ba'y wala, nawala o nabawasan? Ikatlo, isulat sa ikatlong kolom ang paraan na maaari mong gawin upang hindi ka maapektuhan ng mga salik sa makataong kilos. Kaapat, gawin ito sa iyong kwaderno sa asignaturang edukasyon sa pagpapakatao 10. Ikalima, sundan ang halimbawang ibinigay.
Kamusta? Madali lang ba ang pagsagot ng ating mga gawain? Magaling! Ipagpatuloy mo ang pagtuklas ng bagong kaalaman at ang pagsasagawa ng mga gawain sa inyong bahay. At lagi tandaan na ang kilos na niloob ng tao ay may kaakibat na pananagutan. At ang mga salig na ito ang siyang nakakabawas o nakakawala ng pananagutan sa kahinatnan ng pasya o kilos depende sa sitwasyon. Kaya mga mag-aaral, pag-aralan pa ninyo ng mabuti ang mga salik upang mapangasiwaan ninyo ito ng maayos at magiging responsable sa lahat ng pagkakataon.
Ito na ang mga layunin. Una, sa modyul na ito ay inaasahang mauunawaan ng mga mag-aaral ang pangyayari sa kabihas ng minuan at Mycenaean at ang mga klasikal na kabihas ng Griego at Romano. Pangalawa, inaasahang sa pagtatapos ng kanilang paglalakbay sa panahong ito ay masasagot ng mga mag-aaral ang katanungang paano nakaimpluwensya ang mga kontribusyon ng mga nasabing kabihasnan sa paghubog ng pagkakakilanlan ng mga bansa at rehiyon sa daigdig. Tayo na't manood at makinig sa aking presentasyon sa tulong ng mga YouTube videos ng mga ibang guro mula sa ibang mga paaralan. Bago manood, tatandaan muna ninyo ang mga katagang ito upang masagot ng maayos ang inyong mga sagutang papel sa linggong ito. Ito ay ang poet na si Homer, ang Hellas, Helot, Hellenic, Polis, Agora, Acropolis, ang demokrasya, ang oligarkiya, ang Solon, ang pagiging sundalo ng mga Spartans, ang mga larangan ng agham, arkitektura, drama, eskultura, medisina, pagpipinta, kasaysayan, pananampalataya, at filosofiya. Sisimulan na natin sa video na pinamagatang ang kabihas ng Mingwan at Mycenaean. Ang susunod na video naman ay pinamagatang ang kabihas ng Greece, kasaysayan at pamana. Ang susunod nating papanoorin ay ang kabihas ng Romano. Pero bago manood, tatandaan ninyo ang mga katagang ito upang makasagot ng maayos sa inyong mga sagutang papel para sa linggong ito. Ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Senate, Assembly, Batas, Pamahalaan, Plebeian, Patrician, Konsul, Diktador, Sining, Arkitektura, Teknolohiya, Panitikan, at Wika. Mga mag-aaral, sana ay mayroon kayong natutunan mula sa mga videos na inyong napanood. Siguro napahalagahan na ninyo ang mga impluwensyang dulot nito sa inyong buhay bilang mag-aaral. Ihanda ang mga natutunan ninyo sa pagsagot ng inyong mga sagutang papel sa linggong ito. Maraming salamat sa inyong partisipasyon, ngunit hindi pa dito nagtatapos ang ating mga aralin. Lagi ninyong tatandaan ang kasabihang, mag-aral ng mabuti upang buhay ay bumuti. Hanggang sa muli, ingat at God bless.
is Janice M. Dacanay. I am one of the teachers of Technology and Livelihood Education in Misamis Oriental General Comprehensive High School. I am teaching grade 9 and grade 10 food processing students. For today's video, I'm going to demonstrate one of the core competencies in food processing, which is a processed food by fermentation and pickling. The name of the recipe is Chayote Pickles. But before that, I'm going to tell something about pickling. Pickling is a process of preserving or extending the shelf life of the food by anaerobic fermentation in brine or vinegar. Most Filipinos love to eat pickles. Always remember, wear hairnet, chef jacket, and an apron.
You need the following kitchen tools: measuring cups, peeler, kitchen knife, grater, measuring spoons, wooden ladle, chopping board, and mixing bowl. For the ingredients, you need 1 medium-sized chayote grated, 1 piece carrot, julienne cut, 1 medium-sized red bell pepper, julienne cut, 1 medium-sized ginger, julienne cut, 2 cloves garlic, julienne cut, 1 medium-sized onion, julienne cut, and 1 medium-sized green bell pepper, julienne cut. For the pickling solution, 1/2 cup vinegar, 1/2 cup white sugar, a pinch of salt, and a pinch of peppercorn. For the packaging, you need 1 glass jar, plastic seal, and a label. For the procedure, you need to peel the chayote, remove the seed, and grate. Sprinkle the grated chayote with salt. Let it stand until it becomes watery for about 5 to 10 minutes. Squeeze the grated chayote to remove part of the juice. Squeeze out the excess juice. Combine all the vegetables and spices, then set aside. For the pickling solution, you have to mix vinegar, sugar, salt, and peppercorn. Then bring to a boil. Make it sure that the solution becomes syrupy. I would like to tell something about chayote. Chayote is rich in nutrients and antioxidants that provide many potential health benefits, such as vitamin C, that fights disease and promotes health. It also promotes blood sugar control and regulates blood pressure. Place the combined vegetables and spices in the jar. Pour enough pickling mixture to cover the vegetables and spices.
And here it is. This is the finished product of Chayote Pickles.
I hope you enjoy the video!
Hi, my name is Sheila T. Arellano, one of the Technology and Livelihood Education teachers of Misamis Oriental General Comprehensive High School. I'm teaching grade 10 bread and pastry production. Today, I'm going to demonstrate one of the core competencies of bread and pastry production, which is to prepare and produce pastry product. Pies and pastries like cakes are delightful to eat, especially when they are baked properly. The term pastry comes from the word paste, meaning to stick, which consists of crust and filling. For this video, I'm going to demonstrate a Filipino pastry, which is the Buko pie. Make sure to wear the complete PPE, hairnet, chef jacket, and apron. To start with, do the mise en place. Mise en place is a French phrase which means putting in place. These are the ingredients. For the crust, you have here 2 cups all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup butter, 4 to 5 tablespoons cold water, 2 tablespoons granulated white sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon salt. For the filling, I have here 2 1/2 cups young coconut meat, 1 cup all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup cornstarch, 1 cup evaporated milk, and 1 1/2 cups white sugar. Here are the tools and materials needed: mixing bowl, measuring cups, measuring spoons, fork, wooden ladle, rolling pin, wire whisk, pan, cling wrap, and pie plate. So let's start. First, I need to make the filling. In a pan, combine evaporated milk, granulated white sugar, cornstarch, and all-purpose flour. Mix well until the flour dissolves. Then add the young coconut meat. Turn on the heat into medium-high and stir until it thickens. Then set aside. Now for the crust. In a mixing bowl, combine all-purpose flour, granulated white sugar, and salt. Cut in butter into flour mixture using pastry blender. But since we don't have pastry blender, we can use fork as alternative. After that, rub lightly with the tips of your fingers until the mixture resembles coarse cornmeal crumbs. Make sure your hands are clean. Add ice-cold water gradually, 1 tablespoon at a time, and mix until it became a dough. Knead for a minute and form into a ball. Divide the dough into two for the top and bottom crust. This is an example for two-crust pie. Wrap it with cling wrap and refrigerate for 30 minutes. 30 minutes is done. Let's roll out the dough. On the table, sprinkle with flour and flatten the dough using your palm to form a disc. Using the rolling pin, roll out the dough from the center to edges, maintaining a circle form. Be sure that the dough is larger than the pie plate, but not too thin and not too thick. Chill for 15 minutes. When 15 minutes is done, transfer the flattened dough to the pie plate. Lift the overhanging dough while pressing the bottom and side of the pie plate. Poke with fork. Pour the filling and spread evenly. Cover the filling with the other dough on top. Press the edges to seal the dough. Cut the edges of the excess dough. Press again the edges to seal. Crimp the edges using your fingertips. Using a knife, create steam vents in a starburst pattern. This is to release the air inside the pie. Bake this for 50 to 55 minutes in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit.
This is it! Now let's put this on the cooling rack and cool completely before slicing. And now, our buko pie! Isn't it easy? I hope you're inspired to bake your own. Till my next video, bye!
Good day, students! Welcome to another episodes of TVBI, or TV-Based Instruction. Today, I am your teacher on the air. I am Sir Ronel Gaputan Kider of Misamis Oriental General Comprehensive High School. Come on, graded students, get ready for yourself for another exciting and interesting lessons in Music 8, second quarter. At the end of this module, you are expected to listen perceptibly to music of East Asia, particularly Japan, China, and Korea. Analyze musical elements of selected songs and instrumental pieces heard and performed. Now, students, please prepare yourself as we continue our discussion this morning. For our lesson 1, we are going to explore the music of East Asia, such as Japan, China, and Korea. Traditional music is part and parcel of any culture. Traditions and cultures differ from one country to another. And so, of course, that's the music. Japanese traditional music is popular not only in Japan, but also in the West. In recent years, many pieces of traditional Japanese musical compositions which showcase throughout the world. Traditional music plays an important role in the Japanese culture even today. China, on the other hand, has a long an influential musical tradition based on the philosophy and culture of ancient China, while Korean traditional folk music called gagako in Korean has been passed down through the generations since antiquity. Gukak has many distinct traits from the most basic elements of music to its tone and format. In Quarter 1, Module 1, you learn and enjoy the music of Southeast Asia and even familiarize the basic concept and principles of musical elements such as pitch, timbre or timbre, tempo, genre, and time signature that are commonly presented on their songs and instrumental pieces. You also learn that of their music is a great influence to history and culture, with some of their ceremonies connected to their beliefs, state and community affairs. In addition, music is evidently important to the lives of Southeast Asian people. Now, in East Asian countries are also rich in music. This time, let us watch and listen to the music of Sakura song. Now, I will ask you some questions about the music you have heard, the Sakura. What is the mode of the music? 2. How did you feel after listening to the music? 3. Which country did the music come from? Now, students, let's talk and discuss East Asian music. You know that East Asian music has 3 general characteristics. First is linearity, which emphasizes on the melody. Harmonies are very rare, and when you use at all, are not really part of tension or release of the music. Second is transparency, which focuses on the individual instruments. No matter how big the orchestra is, each instrument has an individual role, and it meant to be heard playing its own melody. Third is the word orientation, which means a very low use of abstraction in music. Traditional Asian music has a title or lyrics, and that is exactly what the piece is all about. Now, the development of pentatonic tonal system of East Asia, according to legends, the founder of music in Chinese mythology was Ling Luan, who at the request of the Yellow Emperor Huang Di created a system of music that is made of bamboo pipes, which tunes to the sounds of birds, including the phoenix. In this way, he invented the 5 notes of ancient Chinese 5-tone scale, which are gong, shang, jiao, shi, and yu. Correct music, according to Zhu concept, would involve instruments correlating to the 5 elements of nature and would bring harmony to the nature. Before the 7th century BC, a system of pitch generation and pentatonic scale was derived from a cycle of 5th theory. Wo Xing is a Chinese musical scale or pentatonic scale. Pyongju is one of the 3 modes of Korean music which has 5 tones. Ryu and Ritsu is a basic pentatonic scale in Gagaku music of Japan, now called as Insen, the soft mode, and Yusen, the hard mode. Now, there are different types of East Asian music. First is the Japanese music. Traditional Japanese music is basically meditative in character. Its performance is highly ritualized as much as the music itself. It is usually about religious festivals, work, dance, love, and regional songs. Audiences are looking for the self-mastery of the musicians. This is the reason why it has been highly ritualized. Musicians must show their spiritual self-mastery and their performance and composure. Japanese music has 2 basic types of scale. First, the male scale called Yusen and the female scale Insen. The Insen scale, which is contain minor notes, is used specifically in music for the koto and the shamisen, and is contrasted with the Yusen scale, which does not contain minor notes. According to the traditional theory of Yusen, is a pentatonic scale which is used in Japanese music, including Gagaku and Shomyu. The Yusen scale is used specifically in folk songs and early popular songs. Yusen scale is described as bright sounding. Types of music in Japan. First, Kagura is a god music, music of Shinto. Second, Shomyu is a classic Buddhist chanting. Third, Hogaku is an authentic Japanese music. Fourth, Gagaku is an oldest surviving Japanese court music. Fifth, Nagauta is a long song, vocal, dance, and dramatic composition. Sixth, Koota is a small song such as folk songs, a cappella. An example of folk songs from Japan is Sakura or cherry blossoms. Sakura is a cherry blossoms, a traditional Japanese folk songs depicting spring, the season of cherry blossom. The sakura has been popular since the Meiji period. The tune used a pentatonic scale, the Insen, or the modern Western music theory, the 5th mode of the harmonic minor. The example of that is Sakura. Now, let's proceed to the next traditional music of East Asia, the Chinese music. Traditional Chinese music is not meant to be danced or moved to. that would tend to orient people toward bodily, sensual, and sexual drives. As what Confucius said, a beautiful and appropriate music is meant to promote social tranquility. Most of the traditional music of the East used the ancient Chinese pentatonic scale. This scale is tend to be a simple harmonic, but perhaps to maintain the Confucius norms of simplicity, if music is part of an official ceremonial function, the music is meant to regulate the behavior of the people so that they will perform the ritual appropriately and obey the authority in accordance to the Confucius idea of music being smoothly continued. Traditional music generally doesn't have sharp breaks in tempo. However, instead of a regular tempo but many pieces features a regular celebrating tempo. The tempo slowly increases towards a finale at the end. This connotes a 9 gaining speed as it cascades downwards and is often the rhythmic features of traditional Chinese music. There are 3 types of traditional music of China. Over the centuries, 3 main styles of classical performance were developed that you can enjoy while you are in a trip to China. The 3 general kinds of traditional music that people are most likely to hear nowadays are: first, Chinese opera music. It is for the theatrical performances. Second is the ensemble or orchestra music for culture audiences. The third is solo, instrumental performances. One of the most popular folk song or folk music of China is Jasmine Flower or Mo Li Hua. It was composed during the Qing Dynasty on AD 1616 to 1912 and was one of the first Chinese songs to become popular abroad. The song's tune entertains 3 praises and depicts the purity of love between young people by highlighting the beauty of the jasmine flower. The cultural value and popularity of jasmine flower makes it symbol to showcase the oriental charms on the world stage. Now, let's watch the Moliwa. We'll try to listen the Chinese traditional music Mo Li Hua. 'Now, let's proceed to the Korean music. Traditional Korean music is broad and deep in terms of genre and meaning. There is farmer music, which exposes the lines of farmers through an exciting rhythms. First, the pansurya, long vocal and persuasive music played by vocal singers and skilled drummer. Second is tanchuma. Mask dance is rich in paradigm and humor. The majestic court music play on an important events of the royal palace with a standard use called jongak in Korean, like gagok, hyung, sang, and siju, that embodies the elegant, refined spirit of the Seonbi, or the intellectuals of the Joseon dynasty. Religious music like the Buddhist Byumpak and the music of shamanic rituals are also part of the traditional Korean music canon, adding a special diversity and richness. A major misconceptions about gugak, or the traditional Korean music, is that it is slow, sad, and bleak. It is a completely mistaken view because there are no sad songs at all in the standard genre of gukak. The standard traditional Korean music are based on the idea of not expressing sadness in sad ways. This is why the music sounds strong, bright, and harmonious. On the other hand, there are many songs in the folk genres that too have sad tones. Like for example, Susimga, Yok Jabaygi, Hyong Taryong, Sanjo, Sinawi are all deeply sad songs that are known to prompt of an endless flows of fears, yet at the same time, the energetic and contagious rhythms of songs compel the listeners to get up and dance. This is because the basic nature of the Korean people is based on han, or resentment, sorrow, but on hyung, or an excitement dancing sad songs and creating energetic and upbeat mode even while singing of life sorrows is the most attractive aspects of Korean traditional music, as well as the basis of the Korean side. It seemingly look. Some of the most prominent pieces and folk music forms are: first, the chungak, music of the elite or ruling class. Second is sugak. These are the music of the common and ordinary people. Third is nungak, song of the farmer. Fourth is sanju, song for instrument. Pansuri, song for the stage which the performer sing along, vocal, percussive music played by vocal singer and skilled drummer. Sixth, ninjo, a folk song. Now, the arirang. Arirang is a Korean folk song and considered as an official national anthem of Korea. It is used as a symbol of Korea and Korean culture. Arirang is the essence of a song of farewell. The original of the word arirang is the hill. With Korea's land and mountainous, there are also several foothills around the country. Most Koreans are having fartings of such hill, and emotions of deep regret is imbued with them of arirang. The song evoked the feeling of fears shed by Koreans and the remembrance of their sad stories. Now, students, let's watch and listen arirang, the traditional music of Korea.
나
Now, students, on what I have learned, answer activity 1. Read the statement carefully and fill in the missing words. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Thank you very much for watching.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, so our topic for this morning is all about the arts. Arts East Asia. Okay, East Asian map. Okay, this is the East Asian map. China, Japan, and Korea. Okay, so painting in China, Japan, and Korea. Okay, this is one example. In East Asia, objects or items that are usually put into paintings are called subjects, themes, or motifs. This may be about animals, people, landscapes, and anything about the environment. Okay, so painting in China. Okay, class. Painting in China, painting subject for themes. Number one, flowers and birds. Number two, landscapes. Number three, palace and temples. Number four, human figures. Number five, animals. And number six, bamboos and stones. Okay, this is the sample from China. Okay, so birds. Okay, this is the example: birds, bamboos, palace, and temples. Okay, next, Japan. Okay, painting in Japan. Number one, scenes from every life. Number two, narrative scenes crowded with figures and details. Okay, this is the example. Okay, number three, Korea. Painting in Korea. Number one, landscape paintings. Number two, menhwa. Three, gracious plants, plums, blossoms, orchids, or wild orchids. Chrysanthemums. Number four, bamboo. Number five, portraits. Okay, these are the examples from Korea. Okay, important aspects in East Asian painting. 8 aspects. Landscape painting was regarded as the highest form of Chinese painting. This also considered the three concepts of their arts, namely nature, heaven, and humankind, yin yang. Next is silk. Silk was often used as the medium to paint upon, but it was quite expensive. Okay, next, Kylon. Kylon is invented the paper in the 1st century AD. It provided not only a cheap and widespread medium of writing, but painting became more economical. Okay, create a Kylon is the creator of paper. Okay. Next, the history of Korean painting. The story of Korean painting dates of 108 CE when it first appears in its independent form. It is said that until the Joseon dynasty, the primary influence of Korean paintings were Chinese paintings. Okay, so mountain and water are important features in Korean landscape. Ichada kayo. Korean landscape painting because it is site for building temples and buildings. Then, what daily activities are seen in the paintings below? Okay, so makita nato diyan, that is the example from Korea. Painting is the closely related to calligraphy among the Chinese people. So, calligraphy, the meaning of calligraphy is the art of beautiful handwriting. Okay, so traditional painting involved essentially the same techniques as calligraphy and is done with brush, dip, and black or colored ink oils are not used. Okay, this is the example of Chinese, the art of Chinese calligraphy. The script found on those objects is commonly called Jiwa, Jiguwen or cell and bone script. Kangji, the legendary inventor of Chinese writing, got his ideas from observing animals' footprints and birds' claw marks in the sand as well as another natural phenomena. Okay, this is the example. Okay, let's proceed to architectures. Architecture, why those temples or buildings in China, Japan, Korea have sweeping roofs. East Asian temples and houses have sweeping roofs because they believe that it will be protect them from the elements of water, wind, and fire. Buddhists believe that it helped ward off evil spirits, which were them to be straight lines. Okay, the figures of the tips are called rope guards. Okay, this is an example of rope guards. Figures of tips are called rope guards. So there are three main types of rope in traditional Chinese architect- architecture that influence other Asian architecture. Number one is straight incline. Number two, multi-incline. And last, number three, sweeping. Okay. The straight incline, most economical for common Chinese architecture. Okay, so muna siya mga common Chinese architecture. Okay, next. Number two, this multi-incline ropes with two or more sections of incline. These ropes are used for residents of wealthy Chinese. Okay, so muna ang mga ropes residents of multi-Chinese na mga sapian, mga rich Chinese people. Number three, sweeping. Sweeping scourges that rise at the corners of the roof are usually reserved for temples and palace, although it may also be found in homes of the wealthy, rich na mga Chinese people. Woodblock printing. Woodblock printing is a technique for printing text images or patterns used widely throughout East Asia. It became one of their oldest and most highly developed visual arts. Okay, this is the woodblock printing. Okay, so ano na ilang mga samples. One example, woodblock printing. This one, very nice. Woodblock printing. Japanese for pictures on the floating board, the best known as most popular style of Japanese art. Okay, so Japanese art related to style of woodblock print making that shows scenes of harmony and carefree everyday living. So, critical performance. Painting in East Asian not only apply on paper, silk, and wood. Performers of kabuki in Japan and Peking opera in China use their pieces as the canvas of painting while mass painting is done in Korea. And next, Peking opera face painting. Okay, next is Peking opera face painting. Peking opera face painting or Jingju Lanpo is done with different colors. So like color. In accordance with the performing character's personality and historical assessment. Very nice. So it is a traditional special way of makeup in Chinese operas in pursuit for the expected effect of performance. Originally, Lanpo is called the Paul's mask. Okay, Paul's mask. Meaning of colors for face painting. Okay. One is Yuanju, which indicates devotion, courage, bravery, brightness, and loyalty. Okay, muna yung mga design nila. Bravery, courage, bravery, uprightness, and loyalty. Yan yung makita nilang mga now. Next is Wang Pangyelo. Signifies firstness, ambition, and coldness. Okay, very good. Very nice design. Next is Chowen. A green piece tells the audience that the character is not only impulsive and violent, he also lacks of self-restraint. Next is Shangfi. Black symbolizes roughness and fierceness. The black face indicates either a rough and bold character, an impartial and selflessness personality. Okay. So, this is personality. One nga design. Next, Ilian Pu. Purple stands for brightness and cool-headedness, while a reddish purple face indicates a just and noble character. Next, cow cow. A cow, white suggests treachery, suspiciousness, and craftiness. It's uncommon to see the white face of the powerful villain on stage. Like this one. Okay, meaning of colors for face painting. Gold and silver are usually for gods and spirits. Okay, let's proceed to Kabuki makeup of Japan. Let's proceed to Japan. Kabuki makeup of Japan. Kabuki makeup or kizo is already in itself an interpretation of the actor's own role through the medium of the facial features on stage. So this interpretation becomes a temporalizations of makeup and collaboration with the audience. Okay, next. Kabuki makeup is also another way of face painting which has two types. Okay, two types of kabuki makeup. Number one is standard makeup applied to most actors. Then number two, Komadori makeup applied to villains and heroes. A warrior actor. Colors in kabuki makeup. It is composed of very dramatic lines and shapes using colors that represent certain qualities. Okay. Next, colors in kabuki makeup, passion or anger. Okay. So ilang mga design, wag na yung mga kakasuko, anger. Design sa makeup. Another one, colors in kabuki makeup, depression or sadness. So depress or sadness na ikaguol mo na mga design. Says colors in kabuki makeup, depression or sadness. Okay, colors in kabuki makeup, youth, pink youth. Then number two is black bear. Okay. Next is Korean mask. Korean mask called tal or tal originated with religious meaning, just like the mask of other countries which also have religious or artistic origins. So Korean mask. Korea has a rich history of masks. This used in funeral services to help banish evil spirits and theater plays dating back of the prehistoric age. So muna ilang mga katuan, tinuan. Masks were also used for shamanistic rites. By the 12th century, the mask became part of elaborate dance and dramas. So muna mga designs sa mga masks. Okay, the rules of colors in Korean mask. bright and vibrant colors that help establish the age and the race of the figure. Very nice. So, muna yung mga design. Next, the roles of colors in Korean mask. White mask symbolize the idea that wearer has two fathers, Mr. Red and Mr. White. Okay. So, opposite na lang right and left must. Okay. The rule the rules of colors in the Korean mask indicates that the character was born an adulterous mother. Okay, let's proceed to paper arts and not time. So, what are the paper arts of China, Japan, and Korea? Who invented paper? Papers are great functions in the development of arts not only in East Asia but all over the world. Okay, paper arts. Paper arts first invented by Kailon on the Eastern Han Dynasty in China. It's is ended one of the greatest contribution of ancient China and development of arts. Work arts of China. Number one is paper cutting. Okay. So work arts of China. Number two is Chinese nuts. Okay, so it's an example. The Chinese nuts. So work arts of China. Number three, paper folding. Okay, number two is paper folding. Number four, paper kites. And next is origami from Japan. In Japan. Okay, origami came from meaning folding and kami meaning paper is the traditional Japanese art of paper folding started in 17th century AD and was popularized international in the mid 1900s. Goal to transform a flat set of paper into a finished sculpture through folding and sculpting techniques without cutting as much as possible. Paper crane. Paper crane is the best known Japanese origami. Okay, examples of paper cranes. Okay, very nice. Next is modular origami 3D. Okay. Yung mga design. So, paper cutting. Paper cutting usually symmetrical in design when unfolded adapts the told animals of Chinese zodiac as themes at motifs mostly chooses the red color. So paper cutting, the process of paper cutting is aided by a pair of scissors or knife and other sharp flat cutters. So paper cutting Chinese Buddhists believe that hanging window flowers or decorative paper cuttings attract good luck and drive away evil spirits. So hanging. Xianzi is the first type of paper cutting design since paper was invented by the Chinese The cutouts are also used to decorate doors and windows as they are sometimes referred to chuanghua, meaning window flower. So chuanghua is meaning window flower. Okay, next is kite making. A kite is an assembled or joint aircraft that was traditionally made of silk or paper with a bowline and resilient to bamboo. Kite making today kites can be made out of plastic. Kites are flown for recreational purposes display one artistic skills. Kite making Chinese kite originated in Weifang, Shandong, according to Joseph Nimdam. Kite is one of the important contributions of Chinese in science and technology. Next, knot tying. Knot tying is in Korea. Decorative knotwork is known as made up of called durai or double connections knot, often called Korean knot work or Korean knots. Xianggo is the Chinese decorative handicraft that art began as a form of Chinese folk art in the Tang and Song Dynasty 1916 to 15 AD in China. Natai. Natai in Japan, natai is called hanamosubi. It is emphasized on braids and focuses on individual knots. Okay, that's all and thank you.